Good Sunday evening, high school sports fans. Joe Gillaway with Lingelstown Gazette Sports live from the Orchard Street studio. And this is our high school football week 12 recap show. I'll be joined momentarily by not our panel of experts, just one expert tonight, which is Dave Berman. You see him there, along with our opening guest, a local coach whose team's having a whole lot of success this year. As soon as we're done thanking those responsible for bringing you tonight's show, our Lingelstown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors. And there they are: Capital Region Insurance Agency, Payor Apparel, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Ted's Bar and Grill, The Tire Mart, American Legion Post 272, Crystal Bob at Iron Valley Real Estate, Hoffman Ford, Tonino's Pizza, and Sam Hartley Decking. Thanks again to these great local businesses for their continued support of Lingelstown Gazette Sports and our area's student athletes. Also like to thank Penn Live. We use a couple of their photos every show. And again, these guys are professionals and they do this for a living. And Penn Live is nice enough to allow us to just with a hat tip or a occasional, if we post their photos online, we try to thank them as well. But anyway, thank you to Penn Live. And upcoming, we do not have coaches planned out anymore. We're just going to wait until the weekend's games are done and then reach out to them like I did with this coach tonight. So anyway, Travis Waters, Terry Clark Jr., both out tonight, and we have Dave Berman. And we are going to bring in tonight's opening guest, Trinity head coach Kevin Yarnevich. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing well, thank you. I think you've been with us 3 or 4 times now. I know for 2 of our preseason shows. The one was out there, I think, at Arugas two years ago.
Yep.
I think that's maybe where I met you. Yeah. And then this past year down in, where was it? Down in Annville or E-Town. That's right. Yeah. So thank you for that. That's a show I do in conjunction with PA Football News and Billy Splain. But thank you for always saying yes, because our offerings are always a lot better when guys like you get involved.
I appreciate it. I know my captains love doing that.
Did Maddox get his T-shirt? Do you know?
I'll find out this week.
Okay.
I don't think he got it yet, but he'll get it.
I dropped it off. I dropped it off at the office.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So
I'll make sure he gets it.
Okay, good. So anyway, let's get started here, Dave. I hope you have some questions tonight, man. We're not going to be going around the horn so much, but let's just start with this, Coach. What's the mood like over there in Trinity? I mean, what's the mood like with the you know who gets pumped up? I mean, it's not hard to get players pumped up and coaches pumped up. How about the students in the school and the teachers?
I have a lot of support from the teachers and the students. I know we have a good showing whenever we're at home games. We had several kids out there Friday night. I just did a teacher recognition, and a lot of teachers showed up for our football game a couple weeks ago. And it's Trinity sports in general is very good. Our girls won districts this year, girls soccer that is, and there's a lot of tradition over there at Trinity, so they expect good things from us.
Yeah, small school, but you guys get great turnouts on Friday nights and in the gym for the indoor sports and whatnot. I've been there for a bunch of different sports, and there's always great support. So anyway, you're 18-6 yourself overall.
Yeah,
9-3, and you got to this point last season before a district championship loss to Bermudian Springs. Do you think that experience will help? I mean, I know some of the faces have changed, but a lot of them are probably still the same. A lot of the same coaches. You know the routine now. Does that kind of help you being in this far last year?
Well, yeah. This is my 29th year coaching in Central PA, and it's a big difference when you're the head man. And making it last year all the way to the district championship when nobody gave us a shot. Especially with everything that happened at Trinity with Jordan leaving and all the other players leaving. But our team stuck together, and we just had a great run, a great opportunity. My assistant coaches did a great job. So they made life a little easier on me. District championship was fun. We fell short. And then right after that game, I gave the players about a month off. And then that was the first thing we talked about is getting back to this game.
Yeah. So you started the season 0-2 this year. And I don't think anybody was probably overly concerned in the Trinity camp, but you're 9-1 since. The only loss to Susquehanna Township, a state ranked, top 10 state ranked 4A school. Did you guys learn anything? I watched that whole game. The Susquehanna. You guys played really hard the whole game.
Yeah,
Um,
we had an opportunity.
you more than showed up. I can tell you that right now. We talked about it on the show here a few weeks ago. Whenever
Oh, okay.
yeah, and we all thought that you guys really played physical football, and again, you more than showed up. You were in the game. What did you come away from that game with?
Oh, coming away from playing Susquehanna Township that close, we were down by 4 points in the fourth quarter with 4 or 5 turnovers, I believe, that we had with interceptions and fumbles. And walking off the field, I'm like, they have a shot to win the District 4A 4A championship
Mhm.
this year. They're ranked number 1. They're 10-0. Coach Joe Heaton does a great job over there, and it just made me feel good knowing that we put our best out there, and if we play that good moving forward, we're going to be hard to beat.
I think it was 24-14. That's just I'm kind of guessing,
Yeah,
right?
it was 24-14 at the end of the game. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm sure you had to win something, or you had to learn something from a game like that. I think you can learn from wins and losses, and
Absolutely.
again, it's a state ranked 4A team, and it had to help you guys, in the grand scheme of things. Dave Berman, you want to jump in, bud?
Yeah, your background, did some research. Brownsville, PA, is it like a steel town like Steelton, where you coached for a bunch of years and you had a fiery mentor, the head coach of Brownsville, Lou D. Simon?
Yes. Actually, it's a coal mining town.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my dad was a coal miner. He worked many years in a coal mine, but that whole area out there in Western PA is all coal mining. And grew up gritty. Football was king. Like the whole town was shut down, go to the games, like a lot of schools around here. And it was just a lot of tradition back there, and had a lot of fun.
What did Lou teach you?
Discipline. He was big on discipline and being a leader, and that's where I got a lot of my leadership from, learning it from him. His grit. Whenever we didn't play well, he let us know. It was a different era back then, but yeah, a lot of leadership from him.
Yeah, a lot of great, unbelievable WPIAL football. It's still incredible today. Even those public schools out there, they can beat the St. Joe's Preps, as you saw in the state's finals over there.
Yes. A lot of good football over there. Played Bell Vernon. That was a big school that we played against, and they made a run a couple years ago, I believe.
Yeah,
in states.
Were ready in a real close game. Remember that, Joe?
Yes, I do.
And there's a chance, and I'm hoping it. Not that I'm picking you to win, but I want you to win, because if you would go to the state quarterfinals and take on my buddy Albie Crosby and Newman Goretti, so they get a bye week. Then you got Goretti after that. So they scrimmaged actually Chester this year. So a 3A school scrimmage in Chester was great.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that school, and yeah, they're loaded. But we have to take care of business this week first. Looking forward to the opportunity to get back to the district championship. It's going to be a great time.
So talk a little bit about the game Friday night. Did the guys execute the game plan as it was worked up and as you guys practiced it? I know not every game plan is adhered to, exactly the way it's football. It's a sport just like any other ones. But how'd they do with kind of sticking to the plan and executing?
My offense coordinator, defense coordinator came up with some great game plans on offense. Our offensive line is growing. They're doing a really good job. They've gotten better each week. We have sort of like a 3-headed monster with Maddox Jardzinski, Brandon Harris running the ball now, and Marcus Yeager being our tight end. We can split him out just like a wide receiver. And then we also have Adam Dalton that's been taking up some big shoes, blocking for us, going back to the old traditional Brownsville. Got a fullback just leading right ahead. Defensively, the guys stepped up. Our strong point is our defensive line, and they did a good job. And then the coaches did a great job at halftime adjusting, because Anvil Cleona, you got to give them the credit. Those are hard-nosed kids, and they run their veer option very, very well.
Mhm.
Very well.
Yeah, so they make you earn it then, huh?
Yes, they do. And number 12, I don't know what his name is, but he kept running up the middle, and he was hard to bring down.
No, coaches don't know what players' names are in football, man. They just call them by their number. I
Hey.
freaking love that, man. It's always
Yeah.
been, I mean, I played football, not at a real high level, but I played 3 years in high school. That's what high school was back then. And it could be the best player in the state. And they would go, hey, number 9 over there. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they never refer to him by their I love that. Go ahead, Dave.
He has ended up with 1,030. Devin Engelhart is his name. So that's
Okay.
what a year he had.
Yeah, he's tough. He was, I think he only stood 5'3", but he ran a lot bigger than 5'3".
Wow.
I have a lot of respect for him. Yep, a lot of respect for him.
5'6", 150 pounds, and he comes back next year. He's only a junior. So there you go.
So I don't know
Okay.
if you want me to bring this up or not. I'm doing it with a light heart, but I loved that you were hired last year as an interim head coach, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I mentioned it last year. Look, I'm not judging anybody inside that building, okay? They had to go about the process the way they felt they should. But I even looked up, Dan Sostek wrote an article here, and it says after an offseason of change, the Trinity football program has a new leader at the helm. The Shamrock program have officially named Kevin Yarnevich its interim head coach. How long did it take for the interim to go away? Do you remember that?
Yes, it was mid-December. I went
Okay.
in and had a nice interview type talk with the president of the school and my athletic director, and we discussed some stuff. They asked me if I'm interested, and I said yes. And the meeting went really well. And at the end, I'm like, so am I the head coach? And they were like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I kind of felt, and I never knew. I knew that you coached Steel High, and you have to
Yeah.
be a good coach to coach down there. You guys had a lot of good coaches, but that was my experience with you. And I thought, man, the guy's winning games. He's got playoff experience as an assistant, like good playoff.
Mhm.
Sign that guy or hire him full time. And I'm just glad they did. You know.
Yeah, well, they handled it the correct way. I mean,
I'm not saying they didn't. Yeah, I'm not saying they
we
didn't.
wanted to make sure that there was no distractions
Mhm.
going into playoffs and everything. And I even said we'll talk about it afterwards.
Right.
But I told him that I still wanted the job. And then, when it was all settled, everything settled, we had a nice meeting, and it went good.
Yeah, the funny part just to me is, or the lighthearted part to me is how well you're doing now, and that was your start. That's hey, we're kind of reeling a little bit. We lost Jordan Hill, who they probably planned on having, and you
Yes.
have to make decisions in a certain way when those kind of situations are presented to you. So anyway, enough of that. And Dave, go ahead, jump back in, bud.
So, are you ready to talk about Berks Catholic yet, Joe? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. They had a big pickup in the off season. Camara, and his dad was the head coach of Reading High. You know the story, basketball. And then he lost his job at Reading High, and his son transferred to Berks Catholic. So you'll be seeing Camara, and I'm sure you did some film on him already. They did. I'm impressed.
Yes.
They did lose to Bethlehem Catholic 48-41. So that opened my eyes a little bit. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just watched that game. I was shocked with that because I know Bethlehem Catholic, just like Allentown Central Catholic, they're both great teams. And actually they just played each other last week and Bethlehem won. But Berks, the head coach, Dave Stiller, he's a great guy. I got to meet him over the last couple of years being at Trinity, because we always scrimmage each other. We scrimmaged them earlier this year. So
wow.
it's sort of fun coming back and actually playing a game and scheming and game planning and getting ready for them, because when it's the scrimmage, you very vanilla. You just go out and just see what your kids got against competition.
No Statue of Liberties and double reverse flea flickers and all that, right?
No, they were basic. They're wing tee. Everybody knows that.
Right.
So they ran their buck, they ran their dive and their belly. And we ran our zone 1 or 2 plays, and then So now it's like, all right, now we get to scheme against each other. And he runs a great program. They got some big guys. They have a lot of talent. They have 3 running backs that got a lot of yards this year. Number 14, I believe, 23, and
Number 3, Kamara.
number
Yeah.
3, yeah.
717 yards for Kamara, 500 yards for a sophomore, Kohler. Number 7, Gerald, 864 yards, 8 touchdowns, and another Shock, number 14, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Boy, that's really sharing the load.
So it's
Yes.
like our teams down here, the Strat Havens, Garnet Valleys, the Springfields, the Veer, the Wing T, Wishbone, whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, they ran the wing T very well. They're very disciplined with it. So as soon as you get one thing down, they have like I said, a trio of backs, 4 backs that could run the rock as good as anybody in the league. So I'm looking forward to a great game. If I wasn't in it, I'd be like to watch it because it's going to be one of them games that's going to be fun to watch.
Hey, Coach, you were did you play offensive line when you played football?
Yeah, I was left guard. Yep.
That's kind of how you became an offensive line coach, right?
Yes.
Are they really the smartest guys on the field, on the team, the offensive linemen? I'm setting you up here, right? Okay, they are, right? Okay.
Yes.
That's what
Most
I was always
selfless.
told. Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, we give out these Player of the Week T-shirts, right? And I was thinking after about 6 or 8 weeks, like, how do I get one of these shirts into an offensive lineman's hand? But it's hard. You just can't. It's hard to find out when you're a guy like myself who's separated from the whole thing, just reading and talking to people, the value of an offensive lineman. You know the value. The running backs, the quarterback, the receivers, everybody on that team knows the value. But they just know going in that they're just going to have kind of a different role, right? The offensive lineman.
Yeah. My ever since I got to Trinity, my big thing was 5 is 1. And we have we have 7 guys that rotate in on the offensive line that help out, and they're selfless. They know. I preach out all the time. I said I was an offensive line guy. I played offensive line, and you have to be a selfless person to play, but you have to play it with grit. And our guys were excited. They got congratulations after the game from our quarterback, because our quarterbacks, it rained, and Anvil's grass. He didn't have a speck of dirt on him.
Wow, that's great.
And it was just a little wet, but he didn't hit the ground once. And hats off to our offensive line for that.
Good. Dave?
Yeah, Boyer, that quarterback, 1,564 yards passing. And then you're running the ball. Tell me about the Harris.
Yeah, well, Boyer is my little Baker Mayfield. He has that grit just like Baker. He's not afraid to sling it. He holds himself, carries himself like Baker. So, yeah, that's my little nickname for him. Now, Brandon, on the other hand, he rose like 3rd or 4th game of the year. He started for us last year at middle linebacker as a freshman. And he started we let him play some JV games last year just to run the ball, see how good he was. And he was breaking 80-yard touchdowns. I'm like, all right, we got something here.
Yeah.
And then beginning of the year, we're rotating in. And then that's when we went to the I with Adam Dalton. And he's 6'2", 230 pounds. He runs hard. He runs people over. And it's just, I believe that him running, being so successful on the offensive side of the ball helps his confidence on the defense side of the ball, because he's been tearing up the middle linebacker position.
Okay, so let's close with this, Coach. Health of the program moving forward. I know that the most important thing for you right now is tomorrow's practice. Okay.
Yes.
But what's the roster look like? Do you have enough underclassmen to kind of create a smooth transition and keep enough players next year that you don't have to start using all kinds of freshmen and sophomores?
Yeah, we have 16 seniors moving into next year. We'll have 16 juniors. For our team, we started the season with 62 players for a 3A school.
That's fabulous.
And yes, we dropped a couple people left. So we're like around 58, 59, which is still good. And yeah, we're not bare.
So you kind of, yeah, so I'm glad I asked, because things are kind of set up for you as far as not having to, you want to be able to use the players that are older, that have more experience if they're there.
Right.
And not have to force yourself to use 14 and 15-year-olds just because you have spots on the field that need players. So
Right.
I don't know if I articulated that properly, but
No,
as a coach, what I'm talking about. Dave, you
Yeah.
got one more quick one so we can let Coach go in 20 minutes like I committed to?
Coach, really appreciate it. And real quick, your relationship with the great Larry Kostelak. I know you probably have some cross athletes there.
Oh yeah. Me and Larry texts me every week, wishes me good luck. I was just talking to him the other day. His basketball season's coming up. He's really excited. We have a couple, it's a small school and you share players and everything. And he helps me out. I help him out. And it's great to be supported like that, especially from a legend like Larry.
Mm-hmm.
He is a legend. And right, Joe?
Absolutely. Coach, thank you. From the moment I met you, it was two Augusts ago, I said, that's a football coach. Okay.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
I mean, you're a nice guy, a great guy as well, but I wish you well. And I'm glad you found a home, Coach. And, wish you health and the guys, a great game next Friday. And so just keep it up and one practice at a time and get ready for next Friday night.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Coach. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
You got it. There you go.
Wow. How about that?
Dennis Shaw says he got the link. Are you sent?
Okay. If he comes,
I said 6:30, he can chime in.
Okay, cool. So we have a little bit of time. Let's do housekeeping, Dave. How about Kevin Yarnevich? I like that guy a lot, man.
My wife does all the housekeeping.
So we don't have a lot of housekeeping this week. Or what do we call it? We call it actually Outside the Lines.
There you go.
We got tired of that housekeeping name. So Outside the Lines. How about these teams that are opting out of games? Okay, it happens a lot. Too many teams. Okay, here's what we got. The Erie High School athletic program has been placed on probation for 1 year, which is basically just a warning. It is forfeiting the District 10 6A championship game against McDowell. Now, if I'm going to defend Erie, I'm going to say this: they were 1-9. They had to. McDowell was only 3-7, though.
Right. Darren Hayden State College beat them up the other night. So.
Yeah, I mean, Erie, maybe they just knew that they didn't have a chance. I don't know what was happening there, but obviously the District 10 did not like that they just kind of bailed. Now, Altoona did that as well. They were 3-7, correct? 3-7?
Yeah, it was only
decided.
Yeah. As I say, move District 10 teams, make it District 10, District 7. If their record's not good enough, they don't make it. And move all the Mifflin County, State College, and Altoona through District 3 tournament.
That's a lot of travel. I mean, you're right, though. I mean, Dave, I'm with you. Just don't think
Over Mifflin County had to go to their first round. They had to go 2 hours to a Du Bois in the first round of the District 6, 9, 10 tournament.
Well, while District 10 was at it, they also placed Union City High School athletic program on probation for 1 year after the football team forfeited a game. It was a region game. That was earlier. I think we actually discussed that one a couple weeks ago. Union City also finished 1-9, elected not to play a regular season game on October 3rd at Mercyhurst Prep. I remember we covered that here. So, we have Erie, Union City, and Altoona. They were only three of, I don't want to say many, but three of more than just a handful that decided to opt out of playing games. Incidentally, Dave, Erie McDowell did lose, I think you mentioned it, to State College 41-7 on Friday night. So that's that. And I'm not bashing anybody. I don't know the situation surrounding these forfeits, I guess we should call them. Are there too many teams that qualify for the postseason, do you think?
With the 6 classes, I think so, but you can still merge these groups together. We do it as well as we can down here in 6A and 5A, top 16 teams going. It's a 4-week tournament, District 1, 6A, and District 1, 5A, and the winners go immediately right into the PIAA state semifinals. 6A, usually it's been St. Joe's Prep the last 9 years. And then this year it'll be probably LaSalle. But no, my MOTEP guys are watching. So they Imhotep feels they can beat LaSalle this week, which you have to have that attitude, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in District 1 5A, whoever wins that is going to run into, and you even think this, well, Roman Catholic's going to be tough to beat until the semifinals. I mean, we'll see.
So I prepared these numbers anticipating asking you or addressing them with you. A lot of people talk about, I mean, a lot of people say if you're under 500, you shouldn't qualify for the postseason. I don't know if I agree with that, especially if you're a 1A school. If you're a smaller classification school, you probably have to play teams in higher classifications, and there's a good chance you're going to lose those games. 44 teams qualified for the postseason in District 3. Only 2 were under 500. That was Delone Catholic in 1A, Central Dauphin in 6A. And we did see, I think that Central Dauphin proved that they could hang. You know, they beat Cumberland Valley, and then they just lost to Harrisburg by 12, but they stuck around. They played some hard-nosed football, and I'm not sticking up for these teams, but I'm just saying that they were both pretty good 4 and 6 teams. I think Delone was 4 and 5, maybe 4 and 6. Central Dauphin was definitely 4 and 6, and then they won a game and lost a game. They finished 5 and 7. District 1, Dave, only 4 teams had under 500 records, 1 each in 5A, 4A, 2A, and 1A. So that's not many. I mean, if a team here and there slips in that's under 500, I say, oh well, because a 4 and 6 team is probably not too much different than a 5 and 5 team.
You always talk about how good that West Catholic team was last year, right?
I'm talking about that basketball team.
Yeah, the basketball.
Yeah,
team.
They finished the regular season like 8 and 12, and they went on a run. They won the state championship. 3A, correct. So, and then here's along those lines, Dave. Steel High in 2016. I remember this well. They were a 1A school. They finished the regular season 3 and 7, 3 wins, 7 losses, because they had to play the middle towns of the world, and 4A teams, 3A, 4A. They ended up playing in the state semifinals and finishing 6 and 8. So, it just, I think it's a necessary, I don't even want to call it an evil, but a necessary situation that every now and then a team with a lesser kind of record has to be in the playoffs, just based on the way the playoffs are set up and like bracketed. How about this one, Dave? Thomas Jefferson bumping up to 5A. Thomas Jefferson football.
Old church, but he's had a lot of success.
Yeah, according to the PIAA enrollment parameters, they are now big enough as far as their male enrollment to be a 5A school. So that will make things interesting for them. And for 5A is strong in District 7. Really, really good.
Yeah.
So, all right. So anyway, let's I think that's it for outside the lines.
Coach could be sending something to you shortly. So
okay. All right. Yeah, I could see if he clicks on that link, I can see him here.
Okay.
Let's this might be not in your wheelhouse because you're not from up here. But we're going to just talk briefly about District 3 and where we stand there. I'm not going to get into the games a whole lot. Probably next week I will, because we're in the semis for a few of the classes next week. A couple of the classes. Central York over Cedar Cliff, no surprise there. Wilson over York William Penn, no surprise there. They'll play in the District 3 6A semis. Harrisburg beat Central Dauphin 21-9. Manheim Township big over Hempfield 49-7. They will play on the other side of the bracket, Harrisburg, Manheim Township. Any concern? How do you look at this? Harrisburg hasn't really set the world on fire the last 4 games.
Concerned about penalties. I mean, of course, I did not watch the game, but they had 14 penalties, Harrisburg, and Central Dauphin had 4. So what's the story? What did you see there?
I don't know, Dave. I watched girls soccer for most of the early afternoon, admittly. And with soccer, you kind of have to keep your eyes on it because something can happen so quickly. So,
and listen, Dolphin girls, right?
Yeah. Coach, shout out Coach Chris Jones. Okay. But I'm the guy. I'm the guy that has said, every time that Harrisburg has a close game and they don't play well, they have a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers. A win's a win, and it really is. But here's what's happened over the last 4 games for Harrisburg. Back on October 10th, They beat Cumberland Valley. Let's call them an average team, Cumberland Valley, by 5. Then they beat Central Dauphin pretty good. They beat them 27-0, but that's a blowout. But then they beat East 28-6 back on October 25th. That game was a 14-6 game till almost midway through the fourth quarter. So it was a lot closer. And they had a pick 6 at the very end of the game where the East quarterback just kind of threw it up for grabs. And then again, the Central Dauphin game, that game was 14-3 this past yesterday, until 8:20 left in the game. Doesn't matter, Dave. You're a sports guy. Does it matter if these games are being played close? I think that it play down to the level of your competition. Okay?
Coach McNamee, we had him on the show last week, and he had a heck of a game plan, obviously, and I'm sure he tried to slow it down,
I'm sure he did, yeah.
So, but he didn't want to let the cat out of the bag or whatever the saying is last week. I was trying to ask him if he could.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't going to fall for that. So, Coach Mack, I'm going to use Eric Epler's term. I love this. I'll use it to the day I die. Coach Mack was probably trying to create a tractor pull atmosphere against Harrisburg. So anyway,
well,
we wish
Central Dauphin will be back, back to where they used to kind of.
I don't know. Lots of seniors though. They're going to have to,
Right.
But anyway, best wishes to all 4 of these teams and their coaches. Cal Everett, I'm a local guy. Cal, best wishes moving forward here in districts and beyond. So
they got Harrisburg's got sent.
They've got Manheim Township.
What do you think?
Well, a Harrisburg team that executes, that reels in the penalties a little bit, protects the ball. They don't lose to Manheim Township. Okay. I don't know what Harrisburg team's going to show up. And that's the nature of sports. I'm not just saying that about Harrisburg. That's the nature of any team. The right team has to show up. They're vulnerable for a loss. They can be picked off, basically.
Yes. I was going to say about the Hollidaysburg DuBois game in that sub-regional.
Go right ahead.
All right. So I was, Hollidaysburg beat them 49-0 in the regular season, the closed regular season. 1-point game, Hollidaysburg wins it. And I was thinking maybe they could give Roman a game, but that kind of concerns me a little bit there. They might meet Roman in the state quarterfinals. But, yeah, and you watched a lot of that. Or you followed. Yeah, what do you think?
I think DuBois is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they play good football. I don't know how else to put it. They're not big. They're not fast. They're not overly physical or aggressive. They're just good football players. They're coached well. And I was surprised it was a 25-24 final. And I didn't think that I thought that Hollidaysburg was going to at least get into the 30s, 30, 35, because they're one of the top scoring offenses in the state. So, I kind of hats off to DuBois. I mean, that they were able to play that well, and hats off to Hollidaysburg. They were given maybe, I don't know. I'm not looking at their schedule here, but maybe for the first time this year, they were given a close game and they were able to survive it.
So we got let's go to Central York and Wilson. Central York, even though they lost that big Oban team in Ohio, that really is going to help them.
I think Central York's really good this year. This might be their best team since that team that went to the state championship in 2021, I believe it was, with Bo Corbula. They had like 4 or 5 D1 players on that team, something like that. I think Central York's really good, so I anticipate them.
I watched McDevitt the other day.
They're good. Let's move on to 5A.
In the quarterfinal round, great TV network Mechanicsburg has, high school network.
Yeah, I watched that a lot. That's
the color guy's great. I mean, he calls it both ways there. He's a little bit tough on Mechanicsburg, and but he kept saying you got to go one play at a time. But McDevitt still wins the game 49-7, and they a great feel good story. One of their young men from McDevitt, his father recently passed. He had a touchdown in the game. Right. Yeah, that was a good thing. So somebody check.
So McDevitt over Mechanicsburg by 40, 47-7. I mean,
so they got Exeter coming up.
I just don't think that these teams, these 5A public schools, are kind of set up to beat McDevitt. McDevitt, to me, should win the districts every year. I mean, if they don't win it every year, then something went awry. Somebody maybe.
Remember Shippensburg upset them a few.
Yeah, they beat them. That was probably, I don't know, 10 years ago now, 8 or 10. Yeah.
Less than that. But, yeah.
Was it less than that? Okay.
Yeah.
But I do remember that. So New Oxford over Spring Grove, Solanco over Warwick. Terry Clark, who's one of our experts on this show, he has Solanco going to the final and losing to McDevitt. Exeter 35 or 41-34 over Conestoga Valley. So Exeter and McDevitt will play New Oxford and Solanco, and that will be in the semifinals. How about 4A? We like 4A around here, right? We've been talking about this 4A a lot. And we're getting no surprises, okay? We're getting the teams that we figured we would, and it will be Susquehanna Township. They won big over Elko, and they're going to play Wyomissing, who beat Lampeter Strasburg. On the other side, it'll be West York and Tri-Valley. And we have Coach Dennis Shaw here. We're going to bring him in, Dave.
Good.
There he is, Coach Shaw.
What up, fellas? How you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good.
All right, I'm going to start with this. I know you probably don't watch the show on a regular basis. No, I didn't mention it on the show. I mentioned it to Dave personally. I said, I don't know, man. I said, I think Garnett Valley might have a good shot. I'm not trying to set you up. Did I not, Dave? I always got to put myself out there because I did say that, and I'm saying this with respect to Garnett Valley, but you guys had a really good game. Whatever plan you had, you executed, and so talk about let's go in reverse. Talk about that game. It was Saturday afternoon or Friday night?
It was Saturday.
Well, first before we get started, I saw that. I saw what you said.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah, okay.
You wouldn't believe.
Rightfully so, man. We came out a little flat against Marple in a round before.
That's what I was basing it on.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. We kind of, and no disrespect to those guys, it's a good program, good coaching, but we kind of let them hang around in the game when we shouldn't have. So respect to everyone who obviously I get it. We were coming off of a somewhat slow game and an underachieving game to our standards. So yes, there was a few people who picked Garnet Valley to win, and rightfully so.
Right. So, but you're undefeated. I don't think a Chester team has gotten this far without a loss in a season, have they?
Correct. So
Okay.
first time in history for that. So major accomplishment for us, for the young men, for the community.
Especially for a basketball school, right?
Certainly.
You guys are changing that whole thing. It's a football school now for sure. So Dave,
Yes,
go ahead. Let me bring Dave in.
Yeah, that would, Coach. I was obviously PA announcer for the game, and I was just in awe of the entire game, and just I love the fact that I hardly had to announce a flag on the play. It was
right. So yeah, I don't want to get into the officiating thing, but it was a smooth game for us, man. We went from 12 penalties on offense last week to 0 this week.
That's phenomenal.
And 2 total, which were 2 were like pre-snap encroachments with the guy just lining up in the neutral zone. So pretty clean game in those regards. And we actually got a chance to play football, man. Round 1, we didn't get a chance to really play football. We were backed up. We were penalized. We were on our side of the 50 the entire game because of penalties and field position battle. We just didn't win. So we actually got a chance to play the football that we've been playing all year, man. And the guys took well to it. They were prepared. We executed. We didn't punt the entire game. So it was a good football game for us.
You know, I will address that Garnett Valley game just quickly here. You guys, it's sign of a good team is when you can win those games, and you guys finished it out when you had to.
Certainly.
Like the last couple of minutes of the game, I watched a lot of your games. In the last couple of minutes of the game, you guys were faced with a situation where it was time to step up and make a couple plays, and you made the plays.
Yes.
And
so
I just talked about Harrisburg before you came in. Harrisburg, they've struggled a little bit with some penalties and some turnovers, but they make the plays when they have to, and that's what you guys do.
Yeah, and even in that Marple game, like at the end of the day, you can come in as the 15, 16, first, second seed. It's all about football and what's going on that day. So all of that stuff aside, like you still got to play football. You don't go up on a scoreboard 14-0 coming into the game because you're the number 1 seed. It starts 0-0. You got to play, and we were down 13-10 with about 3.5 left in that game, and we drove 80 and went and scored. So
yes,
that's just signs of a good football team. So far as the Garden Valley game, man, we knew we had to stop the run. Their triple option team, traditionally great program, running the football, eating up the clock. So we decided to take the ball first, go down, score, go for two, and try to get them playing from behind. But we did well, man. Defensively, they were coming off of a 49-point game, and we held them to 7 yesterday. So
That's
it was a
incredible.
good football game.
That's great. That's when you're happy with your guys.
Yes,
When
certainly.
you're able to do that. Dave?
Yeah, Joe, and you guys out there in the central PA, your part, you're not used to seeing wing T, wishbone type teams.
Right.
Not as much anymore.
Right, Coach, and we get it, with the Springfield, Strathavens, Garnet. Probably Ruston throws a lot of that stuff out there
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
So how do you? That's a great defensive job you guys are doing with these the last couple of weeks, even against Strathaven a couple of years ago in the District 1 final. 3 years.
Our DC, I was telling our DC earlier today when we met that is the best performance that we've played against a triple option team or any kind of wing T team since I've been here. The guys were 100% locked in. The game plan was in play. Didn't really have any breakdowns. It's all about eye discipline and doing your assignment. But you can get caught up. Obviously, a 15, 16, 17-year-old football player can get caught up with all the misdirections and eye stuff to get you distracted. But we did a phenomenal job defensively and offensively. Like, offense is our offense. We're loaded on offense, so it all came to fruition yesterday.
Coach, you know how week 12 can be because you played at a high level. You can either become more and more polished, or you can kind of wear down and wear out a little bit.
Certainly.
It could be either way. And it sounds like it was the former for you. It was you guys kind of were kind of clicking on all cylinders, and you were sharpened, you were honed in.
Yes. So that round one was a wake up call for our guys, because it was pretty much like we escaped. It wasn't like we won a game. It's like we escaped. Yeah, we went down and executed, but one or two calls or one or two plays or a drop ball here, and we're sitting at home. So our guys took heed to that coming in that Monday. We practiced. We usually go through film and lift. We were actually on the field. We had a phenomenal week of practice from Monday all the way until Friday. We did no walkthroughs. We just did full practices the entire time. So our guys were locked in, and it showed.
So, Dave, I can only ask a guy like you this because you've been there for all the home games. Usually you have to ask the coach or a player, but tell me a little bit about kind of the personality or the DNA of this 2025 Chester football team, Dave.
Like it has been over the last, probably, Coach Shaw, 2019, when it was building, and refuse to lose, play hard, and just a lot of great athletes and teamwork, and you guys, camaraderie and everything with the community. Dennis, tell us about the some of your. I know there's so many guys that perform well for you. You want to throw some names out there,
Yeah. So first of all, our offensive and defensive line, man. Our offensive defensive line set the tone up front. We've been running the ball well. I can quote one of my interviews before the season even started. It was like, the biggest difference for us this year would be up front offensively. Obviously, we got guys. We got Shamaj, who's a Syracuse commit. We got JoJo, who's also a D1 player. We got two underclass, Jacoby and Zion and Solomon as well, who man our offensive line, man. Those guys have been phenomenal all year. And defensively, most of those guys go both ways. Well, when it matters. They ain't really go both ways all year, but in the last couple games, we've been putting some of them guys on both ways and letting them have at it. But Sakai Murray Brown, he stepped up big time for us as a wide receiver yesterday. Scored 2 touchdowns. Probably left about 2 out there just with a overthrown ball here and there. But he stepped up. Of course, Jarrell Palmer and Shadrack George doing what they do. Sire Hall, our corner. Yeah.
Fitzgerald coming up big, catching that ball.
Yes. So obviously, like everyone knows, no secret, Duran was out of the game due to a suspension, and those guys were a lot of people. This what I was saying towards Joe. Now, I know it might not have been his outlook of it, but a lot of people felt like, because we were so close with Marple, and you take off one of our better players, a Division I commit, that all right, they're going to come out next round and they're not going to win. So it was a valid case of why people
I looked
think,
at everything just on the
yeah,
surface. I
yeah,
had no
yeah.
insider, but
Yeah.
that's why
Not
I
you,
had
not
I had
you,
to
but
start with that, though. You know what I mean?
around here, around this
Yeah.
part, the guys knew what the landscape of
Right.
was as far as his playing status. But we had guys step up. We're a talented football team. We're not a one-man crew. Yes, we're led offensively by a really, really, really good quarterback. And rest of the guys just stepped up, man. So it was a team effort, and the guys made a vow all week that they were going to step up. They practiced their tails off. It showed on game day. On to Ruston.
Yeah,
Coach,
we're not trying. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Joe, I just want to say that at a lot of the Chester games, we have great feeder programs here, and a lot of the young kids are coming out there on after the game on the field, and they look up to you guys.
Yes, certainly. So we do our little, kind of like college. We do our little game day visits where the kids in the feeder program that are coming up through the feeder programs in Chester, they come into the locker room, they get to gel with the guys. They're in there at halftime. They're watching how the guys prepare for the game, whether it's playing music on a speaker. They're just vibing with the guys, and they get a good feel. And the kids love it, man. They love it.
That's how you create a program.
Certainly.
Like that,
Yeah.
because those kids are going to come, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 years from now, and they're going to say, Coach, I remember the time that you let us do this or let us listen to the music with the
Absolutely.
guys or whatever it is. It's indelible. It's never
Absolutely.
going away. I
Absolutely.
remember I was down at Hershey Park Arena watching a state championship basketball, and there was a girls' game. I was there to watch the Steel High game, and they were playing Johnstown that year. And there was a girls' game prior to the boys' game. So I was sitting in front of these or behind these. I think it was Pitt Central Catholic or these parents, and she said that my daughter never wanted to be a cheerleader. She wanted to play basketball for her high school ever since she was 6 years old, and it was the same. It was the same kind of thing.
Same deal.
Same deal.
Yeah.
The coach embraced the kids, the players embraced them, and they just created an environment where that's what they wanted to do for all those years. So my hat's off to you.
Thanks,
I just
man.
kind of jokingly said, you're a basketball school. You're a basketball and football school.
Certainly.
Let's face it. And Dave's been excited about it. We set aside time on every one of these shows to talk about Chester football, by the way. Do we not, Dave? Yeah, I give Dave time to talk about Chester.
Let Dave have the floor.
Yeah, I let Dave. I never argue with him. I'm looking forward to it, and I watch your games too. Whenever I'm able to. So I got to ask you this question. I'm not setting you up for locker room fodder, but how about Bayard Ruston? What do you know about them?
Again, great program historically. They kicked our butts pretty good last year in an outing that we still have a sour taste in our mouth from. Like, we fumbled about 7 times in the game. Not to discredit anything that they did. They were ready. They're a tough football team. They're a well-coached football team. They're a talented football team, man. And you got to be on your P's and Q's in order to get a win versus them. But I do believe that our guys are ready. Like I said, they beat us, I think it was like 45-14 last year. And we have been anticipating this pattern, this route, this direction into a collision course to meeting these guys and actually getting an opportunity to play them. So we're up for it. We know they're going to be up for it. We know that they're licking their chops at us and want to show everybody that what happened last year wasn't a fluke. They've been at our games. They've been at every one of our playoff games so far. They've been chatting with our fans. Our fans been chatting with them. So it'll be fun this Saturday.
Good.
Well,
Dave,
Mike St. Clair, he's a fiery guy, and he's got some deep Chester roots. His mom's from Chester.
Okay,
She's
cool.
Chester, I think the water company for years.
Yeah. So we're anticipating that. We're anticipating the matchup. We're up for it. Not often do you get a chance to get a rematch against somebody who flat out took it to you in the same kind of magnitude of a game. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a good one for us.
That's a great point, Coach. Okay, we thank you for joining us. I'm so glad I was wrong last week, and I really am. But I figured I had to start with that, because I'm wrong a lot. I got to eat crow, humble pie. You know what I mean? So we wish you well. We hope we can next Sunday at this time. Dave and I and the other guys could be talking about a Chester W. So.
Yep. Appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in like this. Best wishes. Take care, Coach.
You too.
All right, there he is, Dave. Dave, thanks for making that happen, man.
Dennis Shaw.
We only started this 45 minutes ago. You said, how about let's bring Dennis in? I said, let's do it. I saw the text. I said, absolutely, or for sure, let's do it. So
well, great to have, I mean, it is, we have a lot of people all over the state watching this show,
yes.
So I know that, but yeah, and it's good. Even, the other semifinal District 1 5A is Springfield and Strathaven. They met each other a couple weeks ago, and Springfield won 10-7. So winner Springfield Strathaven, winner versus Chester Ruston will play for the District 1 5A championship. Winner of that plays probably Roman.
So. Man, I'll tell you, you got some good 5A down there.
Oh,
5A football strong statewide. We got some good 5A up here in District 3. District 7's loaded with really good 5A, and now they're going to add Thomas Jefferson. So let's kind of run this to the end here. We finished on 4A, Susquehanna Township, Wyomissing in one side, then West York, Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley's probably the team to beat. I mean, at least on the surface. But then again, I picked Chester to not win this past week because of on the surface stuff. You like how I started out with that, though, Dave? I had to tell him, look, I didn't know that he knew that I said that.
Well, there's a site down here, Delco Football, and
okay.
And they do a show,
okay,
podcast, and they have.
What they think? Did they give an opinion on it?
Was like, I think it was like 50-50 out of the panelists that Chester was going to win, and somebody, the other predicted, of course, Garnet Valley. And Garnet Valley, we had Coach Van Wyk on our show last year. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, how about it? Yep.
Eric said the Garnet Valley coach, and he said some great things about Chester before the game. Looking forward to it. And his
Van Wyk, he was a great guest. So 3A in District 3, Berks Catholic versus Trinity. We know that. We talked about that earlier. And then 2A and 1A are in the book. Steel High, they beat Halifax big, 52-13. Their 18th District 3 title, one title in AAA. That's when AAA was the biggest classification. And then the other 17 in 2 in AA, 15 in single A. I kind of feel that the same way about Steel High as I do McDevitt. They have to win a district championship every year. So they've won 6 straight now too. And then York Catholic over DeLone Catholic in 1A. There are only 2 1A teams in District 3, and York Catholic won 33-25. So that's District 3.
Steel High win it all. I love Coach Irby and everything. I'd love to see. I love Steel High. It's
absolutely
tough steel town, old school. Lost a lot of population over the years, but I want them to win it all.
Can they win it all? They're very talented.
Yeah.
I mean, Troy's very good, of course. Troy and Southern Columbia, one of those two will eliminate the other in the District 4 championship. So Steel High would have one game before that.
I can't believe they're AA. They should be single.
Against the District 5 champion. Let's see. Where is that, Dave?
It's going to be Chestnut Ridge.
Williams Valley. Beat Minersville. Oh, no, that's Schuylkill Haven. Dave, you're absolutely right. I had SH written down. Absolutely right. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, they're going to beat Chestnut Ridge, who shut out Berlin Brothers Valley 13-0. Good call, buddy.
Right.
And then the winner of that game will play the winner of Southern Columbia, Troy. So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a elevation between 1A and 2A. I mean, some years there's a lot of elevation. Troy last year was really, really good. And then all those years that Southern Columbia had great teams, whoever won in 1A would not have had a chance against Southern Columbia.
A great game for me would be an old school battle. They met in the state title game over the years. I think it was in basketball. Farrell looks really good out in the West. Farrell, Steel High. Wouldn't that be just an unbelievable?
Yeah, that would be. That would be.
Two small steel towns. Wow. We'll see.
They shut out Mercyhurst Prep 52-0. They have Karnes City. This is Farrell now I'm talking about.
Right.
Coming up next week. So around the state, Dave, handful of teams that ranked in the top 10. And top 10, that's just people, human beings making lists. I know that. The only 6A team that got knocked out was St. Joe's Prep. And of course, they had to, either them or the number 2 team, LaSalle, had to lose So congrats to St. Joe's Prep. Kind of monkey off their back, I would say.
LaSalle, yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you guys were really following Bonner and O'Hara, weren't you?
I was following Bonner and O'Hara big time. Yeah.
You saw Bonner last year win the states 4A.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gone. You know what? I do have that written down. 2 teams are gone now. That's St. Joe's Prep and Bonner out of the champions.
Right.
And then 2 other teams that were runners up. Lampeter Strasburg lost and Central Clarion lost. So there's 4 teams out of 12, a third of the field from last year's championship weekend that are gone, that are eliminated.
So LaSalle and Bob Long's going to have it live and on his YouTube channel Saturday. LaSalle and Imhotep, and I was PA announcer earlier first weekend of the season in York at the a tournament, and LaSalle,
Imhotep
gave Harrisburg a good game.
Imhotep was really good.
Yeah,
against Harrisburg, I thought that was a really good win for Harrisburg. Harrisburg's had they had the toughest schedule. I thought, outside of maybe LaSalle or St. Joe's Prep, they were playing kind of a regional or national schedule. But out of, let's just say, the normal schedules, Harrisburg's first 3 games were incredibly tough.
Right.
Last year in State College.
Last year in this game, it was 42-0. St. Joe's Prep beat Imhotep. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
I don't think, here I go again, okay? I just had to eat crow in front of Coach Dennis Shaw. I don't think that Imhotep has a chance.
Oh, wow. All right.
I think LaSalle is kind of, they're really good. I've had them as my number 1 team, and we don't do any official rankings here because you know what? Eric Epler at Penn Live, he does a great job, and I just don't want to go up against him, and I don't want to go up, there's no need for us to do it. But you know how we've kind of talked about our top 4, top 5. I've had LaSalle all year long as number 1 after they won the first game, I think.
All right. So 6A District 1, we have Coatesville taking on Penn Ridge in the semifinal round. And then North Penn taking on the Chamonix. Here's some blue blood teams right there. So that's going to be interesting to follow. Of course, if LaSalle gets all the way through, the District 1 6A champ will play them in the state semifinals. Maybe one of these Allentown teams can give St. LaSalle a game. What do you think?
I don't know.
LaSalle are going to be Easton, Parkland.
I don't think so, Dave. I think they have the unenviable task of having to, just like the District 1 and District 11, they have to run into St. Joe's Prep or this year LaSalle before the state championship game. And then the District 3 and District 7 teams, whoever wins that gets to avoid them until the state championship game.
Right.
We've talked about that on the show. I don't think anybody beats LaSalle. I don't want to get ahead. I want to see how Harrisburg looks. So, and I don't want to kind of sit here and make a prediction about a game that's 3 weeks down the road or whatever, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Remember, State College, had Harrisburg. It went overtime. That was a game. I mean,
52-48 or 52-50 or something like that. It was a crazy game.
State College they're going to play. I'm jumping ahead too. They're going to play Pittsburgh Central Catholic in the state
after they beat McDowell. They're going to beat McDowell.
Who's that?
Or who do they play?
They play. I think it's Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, let me.
Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, where did I get McDowell? We just talked about that a few hours ago, earlier today.
Oh yeah, State College.
They're going to beat Wilkes-Barre. Yeah.
And then the winner of that will play Pittsburgh Central Catholic or North Allegheny.
Mm-hmm. There's some. We're getting down to, there hasn't been many upsets. We're getting down to all the best teams in the state are still around, and they're going to have to start eliminating one another, Dave. It's just
telling you, Coatesville with Buggy Ortega back is
cool. I'm so happy for Coatesville because they lost 2 games. Yeah, we talk about Coatesville a lot, and here's actually right in the middle there, Buggy or Matt Ortega, Coach Ortega, just to the left of Joe Heaton, and that's all the. We've had some great coaches. We got to add Coach Dennis Shaw to that list. But they lost a couple games, and let's just say it probably had to do with Buggy Ortega being on the shelf.
A lot.
Yeah. And I say that with respect to the rest of the team, because there's a lot of other players on that team. But it's good to know that, he's back and he's at least healthy enough to play. And, and they have a chance to win a district title down there.
Yeah,
What do you
we'll
think?
see.
Good
Yeah,
chance?
tough game. At Penridge will be a good game, obviously, I think.
What a good sports school Penridge is, huh?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Remember the 2019 boys basketball team?
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
so close to be in the 6A championship, Coatesville and Penridge, but that Kennedy Catholic team was in the mix.
Yeah, and then the girls soccer, they're good too. They played Central Dauphin in 2022 in the 4A state championship, and Central Dauphin won the game. But my point is, when you're sending sports programs to state championships and semifinals on the boys and girls side, you're a really good sports school.
All right.
So anyway, there's just too many games left to play, and there's too many games that were played over the weekend. Let's just talk about a couple other teams that were bumped out. Berwick lost to Scranton Prep. Berwick was ranked number 6 in the state in 4A. They lost by 35, 42-7. And then Elizabeth Forward lost to North Catholic, and North Schuylkill lost to number 2 Northwestern Lehigh. So 3 of the 7 4A schools are bumped. They're out.
That's scary. That is absolutely scary what Scranton Prep did to Berwick.
And for those at home, this is single elimination. You lose and you're gone now. This isn't like some tournaments where there's a loser's bracket or something like that. It's win or go home. Through the 8 through 10, the 5A schools, Woodland Hills lost to Upper St. Clair, Conestoga Valley to Exeter Township, Penn Trafford lost to Moon. So 3 of the 10 5A schools, 3 of the 10 4A schools were bounced. How about this one, Dave? Pope John Paul II lost, got doubled up 42-21 to Bishop Shanahan.
Shanahan's loaded. The Aquila kid at quarterback, they are absolutely loaded in 4A, man. So I'm wishing them, that saw them against Coatesville. They had a couple of guys, they were resting that game, but I'm really, following that program very closely. So we'll see what happens. So, I think O'Hara too, man. They got it going on. They got to play the West Philly Speed Boys next for the.
I love it. One of the greatest nicknames in sports history.
Yes,
Chester at any level.
Oh, I mean, they have a lot of speed.
The only thing I was going to say that the only thing is you have to have a lot of speed if you play for the Speed Boys.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't be 3 yards in a cloud of dust or a cloud of dirt or whatever it is. So let's shout out before we take this thing down to the wire here. Let's shout out Kirby Lentz is with us tonight. He always is.
He tried to call me this weekend. I forget it.
He said, "Boomer, Flyers lost a legend and Mel Bridgman passing."
Yes,
I remember Mel Bridgman played with Ed Van Imp and of course Clark and a lot of those guys in the early 70s. He was kind of like an early 70s guy, right?
He came in actually 75-ish.
75-ish, okay.
Yeah, but still, yeah.
And then Jeff DeVos, he said he watched that Berwick game. Demolition is what Jeff.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, so
on our Facebook forum, that guy can write. Wow.
So, Jeff, we got to have you on the show, man. This would have been a great night to have Jeff on. Jeff, do me a favor. Send me your some kind of contact, your phone number and your email address if you'd like to join us sometime. That'd be awesome. Because we are, Dave, what are we? We're just like kind of a ragtag bunch here. Not that we don't know a little bit about football and that we don't have experience in covering it, but we're just here to hang out and have fun. So what are your games to look at, to watch? We know that Chester and Ruston is one, and
Springfield against Strathaven. Coach Clancy just keeps doing his thing. Chris Britton, a great job at Springfield over the years. Coach St. Clair, of course, at Ruston, and then my man Dennis Shaw at Chester. And 6A at Penridge, those semifinals are going to be unbelievable. Dick Beck still doing his thing at North Penn at 6A.
You would have to include. I personally, here I go. I don't want to, but you'd have to say LaSalle and Imhotep. I just like LaSalle, man. I just like LaSalle. And I don't think that the semifinals in District 3 are going to be all that tight either. I think Central York and Harrisburg both win big. How about this one, man? North Allegheny. they don't really have a chance against Central Catholic. That is such a sexy matchup. You know what I mean? Like typically, I don't think it's.
You know who would be good for our show? I'd love to get, if you can get on to Art Walker, the North Allegheny coach, but maybe someday down the road. He's a beast.
5A, Pine Richland and Moon. I think Pine Richland's just too good to allow Moon to make that a game. Nothing, New Oxford and Slanco might be good. I don't think Exeter and McDevitt's going to be competitive. Why am missing in Tri Valley or Twin Valley? I'm sorry, Twin Valley. Yeah. You can't, or what? West York and Twin Valley.
The Bulldogs, man.
West York. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then Susquehanna Township. Why I'm missing might be like one of the top three or couple 3 to 5 games in the state this coming weekend.
Why Missing likes to run we had Coach on and the old school
Coach Bob Wolfram, man, what a treat that was. We've had some great coaches on this year.
Right, another Philly.
Gosh darn, some of these coaches, Dave, I get off the air and I'm pumped up. I want to go out and tackle or block her. You know what I mean? Just because I talk to them.
Well, someday you can play some basketball. I always say, play some hoops with me when you're down the Avalon or Jersey or Wildwood.
Dave, I got bad ankles, knees, hips. I got bad everything. How about this one though? Southern Columbia, Troy. That's a top 3 to 5 game in the state.
Yeah.
Southern Columbia, they're winning and winning big. Who'd they lose to? Did they play? Was it Why I'm Missing?
Yeah, let me.
They played somebody kind of out of their class. Man, I don't know why I'm saying Why I'm Missing.
But I'll look. I think we're going to pull this show off, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing okay. Southern Columbia football.
Yeah.
They lost to one of the private schools, or was it Why I'm Missing? Why I'm Missing. They lost to Why I'm Missing by 22 in week 1.
And Why I'm Missing beat Haverford School.
Yeah. So that's not a bad loss for Southern Columbia.
Yeah.
That's about it, Dave. I think we're done. We did a good job here, buddy.
All right, thank you.
We lost 2 of our best guys tonight, Terry Clark Jr. and Travis Waters, man. And then I tried to get Eric Thomas. He said he's out to dinner. But how about the guests we had tonight? Started with Kevin Yarnevich from Trinity, playing for a district championship this Friday. And then, of course, Coach Dennis Shaw from Chester. Thanks, Dave, for getting Coach Shaw in kind of last-minute thing. That was awesome to have both of them on. And Jeff DeVos says that's the game my eyes will be on, Troy versus Southern Columbia. High school football is warming up, Dave. It's warming up. You know what I mean? It's moving on from tepid. It's not tepid anymore, buddy.
Then we're going to have a basketball show.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, Dave, thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks to Coach Kevin Yarnevich, Coach Dennis Shaw, and Dave Berman. And we will talk to you soon, Dave.
You got it.
Have a great evening.